Angkor what? W-A-T, not W-H-A-T. Angkor Wat. So Angkor Wat is a largest religious structure in in Cambodia. I mean not in India, Cambodia. So Cambodia is a country that falls in Indian subcontinent. Okay. So Cambodia is, if we take the northeast of India, then someone has to cross Burma, Myanmar. Then he has to cross Thailand. Then he will go to Cambodia. If he crosses the Cambodia, then he will reach Vietnam. Vietnam is a kind of there is Pacific Ocean. If he cross little bit, then he would enter the Philippines, Manila. So up to there, it is Indian subcontinent. So Indian subcontinent and China, there is a boundary that because the East Himalaya sits in between. It is not very high rise Himalaya. I believe 3,000 or 4,000 meter is the highest peak. 4,000 meter or something like that. Okay, but there is Himalaya. Okay, so there is a country called Cambodia, and there is a place called Angkor. So Angkor Wat. Angkor Wat is a temple that is dedicated to Lord Vishnu. So it is a Vishnu temple, and it is, if I calculate the distance, then from Manipur, that is northeast, from there it is around 2,000 kilometers. That's it. And from Rangoon or Yangon, it is only 800 kilometers. So till Burma, anyway till Britishers time, there was Indian Railway, Pakistan, Indian Railway in Sri Lanka, Indian Railway in India, Indian Railway in Bangladesh, and Indian Railway in Burma. Full Indian Railway was there. So from Rangoon or from Burma border, it would be merely 500 or 600 kilometers. Angkor. And from the Burma capital Rangoon or Yangon, it is around 800 kilometers. From Manipur, that is northeast, it is around 2000 kilometers. From Lucknow, it is around 4000. So if I consider Lucknow as center of the India, geographically and population wise. So geographically, by longitude, it is a kind of okay. So by longitude, it is kind of center of India. But latitude, if I see from equatorial the latitude, then it would not be center, but still population density, if we see, then Gangetic Plain population density is very high. Then it is around 5 times high than other part of the country up to. So Lucknow we can consider as the center of the India, geographically and population wise. So from Lucknow, it is around 4,000 kilometers. If you go zigzag way, because the way Indian National Congress they divided the country, making many boundary countries. But straightforward, if someone passes through Bangladesh, then I don't think it would be more than 3,500 kilometers. Okay, so that is the scenario. A person in Manipur or Meghalaya or Nagaland, he can travel 4,500 kilometers to come to Kerala, but from there 2,000 kilometers he cannot go. And these people talk about giving the employee. Where you will give them? Cut down the employee. Cut down the people's head. People cannot go to Tibet. People cannot go to Burma, Thailand, Laos, Cambodia, and Vietnam. People cannot come down and go to see their Bangladesh is there. People cannot go to Bangladesh. From there, what he will do coming to Kerala? The people means northeast people. Now they become northeast. Northeast people all along you cut their leg. Now you are giving them employment. Anyway, the Angkor Wat is a temple that was built in 12th century, around 1150. Okay, there is a king called Suryavarman. So Suryavarman II, he built the Angkor Wat Vishnu temple. It is called Vara Vishnu. Vara Vishnu means it is residence of the Vishnu. Okay, so that is Vara Vishnu. So Vara or Param Vishnu. So that is a residence of the Vishnu. So Vishnu stays. So that is the Angkor Wat temple. Angkor is the name of the place. There is a old name also. Some Sudra will see that. So Angkor Wat is the name of the place. Wat means temple land. Okay, temple ground. So a temple that is in Angkor is Angkor Wat, that is dedicated to Vishnu, and Vishnu idol with 8 hands of the Vishnu, 8 hands of the Vishnu. Okay, amazing. Means I would say that no one should miss this visiting Angkor Wat in his lifetime. So that is required. Means Indian Railway is still Rangoon, and from Rangoon 800 kilometers, or from Burma border, Indian Railway would be further to Rangoon also. So 500-600 more. Then anyway there would be railway in the Thailand. You reach Angkor Wat. So easy, right? Means person from Nagaland he can travel 4,500 kilometers to coming to Kerala. He cannot travel 2,000 kilometers. Even it would be even less through railway. When railway is there, okay. But this party, Indian National Congress, it is busy in LPG cylinder. Person cannot go to Ganasu. Gansu is a province in now it is in China. There he can see Lord Shiva and Ganesh and Kartikeyan caves. There he cannot go. He cannot go to Hinglaj temple in Balochistan. There also Indian Railway is there up to at least up to Karachi. Till Britishers they built Indian Railways to Indians and they made boundary when the power came to them. They would have grown their territory. They put boundary here and there. Okay. Now Indians are confined to a place and they start hunting Indians. You make someone like this is how you hunt, right? If I need to hunt deer, then I'll put the boundary so the deer cannot go anywhere, right? Then I can start hunting. So they placed boundary, physical boundary, fencing, wire fencing, with nails, and then they started hunting him. Now the situation is because of the boundary population is 5 times, and then 50% people they do not have job, means they do not have food. What not job? 50% people more than they do not have food in a sense that India is 111 by 125 in hunger index. Okay, now more than 90% people they don't have any job. Now 100 crore people are eligible to vote. Now they will go give job to 100 crore people. Means what they have? They are bluff, master. They are bluffing. Full boundary they have created. Don't go to Angkor Wat. Don't go to the biggest temple in the world, biggest religious structure in the world. If you think about Islam, Christianity, Sikhism, and Buddhism, whatever, that is the biggest. This is the kind of UNESCO data that this is the biggest religious structure in the world. It is size wise, it is more than 400 acres. That village is, that temple is 400 acres and surrounded by a moat, this water channel. Okay, that is the boundary. That is 5.1 kilometer in circumference. It is rectangular. 5.1 kilometer. Okay, around I believe it is around more than 3 miles. 5.1 kilometer is the circumference, length by width. Around 1.5 kilometer by 1.3 kilometer. So circumference is that moat, the water channel around it is more than 5 kilometers. It is that big. Only temple is more than 1 kilometer and more than 800 meter in length and width. 1 kilometer full temple, one temple, not set of temple. That is Angkor Wat. So Surya Varman II was the king who built Angkor Wat in 1150. So the construction started in 1122 and finished in 1150. So Surya Varman's demise happened in 1177. Post that, it started slowly it converting into Buddhism temple from Hindu temple, from Vishnu temple rather, because there is no Hindu word there in Cambodia. It is called Brahmanism. So from Brahmanism, from Vishnu temple to Buddhist temple after demise of Suryavarman second in 1177. So by end of the 1100 12th century, it became a Buddhist temple, and slowly it waded, means it degraded, and jungle came inside that. So in 20th century, kind of rejuvenation, or it was kind of re uh, uh, kind of reconstruction, you can say. Means jungles were taken out, and full kind of rejuvenation was happening. So Indian government also, I believe in 1970s or something, 1960, they took part in the Indian Meteorological Department or Indian Archaeological Department. I think 10 years or 15 years, they also supported in cleaning it out. So taking out the temple clean. So it was completely in dilapidated condition. So that was the condition of the temple. In 1992, UNESCO, it declared it as World Heritage Site, and around 2.5 million people, 25 lakhs people, they visit the temple yearly from the worldwide. But for Indians, they don't know. Indian, they don't know what is Angkor Wat. I'm certain about it. They don't know what is Cambodia itself. What they will know about the Angkor Wat. Their ancestors, they had built the Angkor Wat, but they don't know. But they know Switzerland. Okay, if you have money, then go to Switzerland. Okay, if you have money, then go and see Heathrow Airport in London, and then New York and Los Angeles. These are the places that you can visit. Means they are there, your neighborhood. Okay, but Angkor Wat is on Mars. Angkor Wat is on Pluto. That you cannot go, because the way they will put the restriction, that you will never go. Okay. But anyway, person can go by train also. Till Rangoon, anyway, Indian Railway is there. From there, 800 kilometers. Amazing, right? What world? So if I say there is a universe, then Indian National Congress created another universe to the Indians. Okay? Another universe. Europe, America, Canada, Australia. Okay? These are the countries, they are only on the earth, or in the new universe. Otherwise, Cambodia and these countries do not exist at all. Okay, anyway. So that is the Angkor Wat temple. So Angkor Wat temple is oriented west, not to the east. The way temples there are generally oriented to the east. So I would say it is facing the India. Okay, and that's how it is oriented west, not the east. So many explorers, they also in the past history, they visited Angkor Wat, and they wrote about the Angkor Wat. So I'll read it through. So Portuguese explorer and French explorer, so they have already visited Angkor Wat. So the Suryavarman was the king of the Khmer regime. So Khmer dynasty. So he built that Vishnu temple. Amazing, right? Means biggest religious structure in the world dedicated to Lord Vishnu. Amazing. Means how someone can visit. People expand their territory. Indian National Congress, they cut down that tree. Not only cutting down. What that never happened in the past, that people could not go anywhere. They created physical boundary. Now in Bangladesh, there are very villages inside house boundaries. Inside house, there are two rooms. One room, and there is angan, and then another room. So angan is the boundary. So till 70, till sometime, I believe 72 or 80, people were going from this room to that room. Now BSF is marching in, because that is the boundary, right? International boundary. So now if they need to attend any function on that side, they have to take permission from the BSF. So from, not from the village inside, from a house inside where there is honor in between, they created the boundary. God's sake, I don't know how they created the boundary. Okay, this is what they have done. Never happened in the history that people cannot go anywhere by walking. This is the God kind of right. This is the heaven right. This is the humanity right that any human can travel anywhere in the search of livelihood. You tell me one thing. If there is an Indian railway from India to Angkor Wat, how many jobs will be created in the tourism? You tell me. These people they never talk about this kind of thing. From India, if someone fly the train to Hinglas temple or to the Gansu in the north, that is the Shiva cave, then how much employment in railway it will come? You cut down everything, put people in a boundary, let people grow in the population because of this only population greed, and let them become bigger, and then say LPG cylinder, LPG cylinder. This is what you want. LPG cylinder. An European can go anywhere in the Europe. An Indian, if he takes a Schengen visa, he can travel anywhere in the Europe. There are many countries like United States citizens can go to many countries without visa itself. Means they trust them. They don't trust Indians. Means everywhere you have to take visa. Going to Bangladesh and Sri Lanka, you have to take the visa. Those are friendly countries. No one thinks about going to Cambodia itself. They don't know where is Cambodia. Anyway, this is the situation of India. But anyway, now we'll see that the explorer who traveled to the Angkor Wat temple, what they have written about the Angkor Wat. Okay, so I have summarized what those people have written about the Angkor Wat. Okay, so there is a explorer Antonio the Madalena. He is a Portuguese in 1586, 16th century. So in 16th century, he visited there and his writing is of such extraordinary construction that is not possible to describe it with a pen. With pen, I cannot describe about the construction. Means it is a kind of okay. It is not possible to describe it with a pen. It is of such extraordinary construction that it is not possible to describe it with a pen, particularly since it is like no other building in the world. It has towers and decoration, and all the refinements which is the human genius can conceive of. Okay, so is of such extraordinary construction that it is not possible to describe it with a pen, particularly since it is like no other building in the world. It has particularly because it is no like any other building in the world. It has towers and decoration and all the refinements which the human genius can conceive of. Okay, so this is the best thing that human genius means that a human best human brain can conceive us. So this is what one Portuguese he wrote in 1586, 16th century. Or French in 19th century, means in 1860, he visited with the help of French missionary. So he is writing one of these temple arrival of that Solomon. So Solomon is arrived in Israel, I believe. So Solomon temples are very famous. So one of these temples, arrival of that of Solomon, and erected by some ancient Michelangelo, might take an beside honorable place beside our most beautiful buildings. Okay, it is grander than anything left to us by Greece or Rome. It is grander. It is that grandeur than anything, whatever we see left in the Rome and Greece and Rome. It is grander than anything left to us by Greece or Rome and presents a sad contrast to the state of barbarism in which the nation is now plunged. So he's 1850s, 18, 19th century, 1860, he's talking about the government system there, and there is a barbarism in the government system now. But about the building, he has wrote that there is nothing that is parallel to this architecture. So he wrote in 1860, and his whatever the work he did, it was published in 1864 posthumously, means after his demise. In the in the title, okay, the title of the book or whatever, and that in which it was placed in 1864 is travels in the central part of Indochina. So at that time also it was known as India. In 1860 also, that Cambodia was known to European as India. So travels in the central part of the Indochina, Siam, Cambodia and Laos. So this is the title under which he wrote something, an excerpt of that I read. Okay, so amazing. Eight, eight armed statue of Vishnu. Generally, Vishnu has four arms. If you read the kind of Gita, okay, if you read Gita, then I believe in the seventh or eighth chapter of the Gita, it has 18 chapters. So in the seventh or eighth chapter, Vishnu he shows that his actual the actual his you can say the physique. Okay, the Vishnu, Lord Krishna, he shows the Vishnu face. Okay, and it has four heads. Okay, then Arjuna he talks about the four heads. Okay, one head has lotus and other head has whatever. But this temple has eight armed Vishnu. Okay, so generally Vishnu is kind of termed as four armed. That is mentioned as Vishnu, that is the real kind of face of the real, the dignity, the real kind of the presence, the real significance of Krishna. So he is kind of incarnation of Vishnu. So whatever he is, that he comes into the picture. So here, there, four hands are mentioned, but here, eight hand Vishnu that you can see. I mean, don't miss it. Okay. Anyway, you know what you have to do. Go and vote.